countless interviews and comments on our social media pages that talk about the fact that I didn't even know that wasn't chicken till my husband told me when we got home, or the other foods that we prepare here. So our goal again was to provide a viable food source to communities disserved and underserved. So we wrap this healthy food inside of soul, and this then becomes a hospital. Are y'all with me? So it's a hospital restaurant where people come to get well, but still enjoy themselves, right? So we didn't take the good taste away from the healthy food, because that's the misnomer that healthy food doesn't taste good. It's that it's expensive, and there are all kinds of other negatives that are associated with healthy food. We like to put all those myths to rest and let you know that healthy food, one, tastes good. Healthy food is not going to have you choose between your mortgage and whether you're going to eat this month or not. And I can say that because if you got a backyard, you can grow your own healthy food. But again, we've been in business since 1995. We have 3 locations. This location, we've been here for 18 years. We have a location in Tacoma, D.C., which is actually Northwest D.C., and we have one in Southeast, right there at 1231 Good Hope Road, which is inside of the Anacostia Arts Center. There is a clipboard going around. Please make sure you sign your name, put your phone number on the clipboard. It allows us the wherewithal to stay in contact with you so that we can let you know when we have other speakers, activities, events, and also it opens up the door for us to give you stuff. And just so you know, we are right now offering to all of those that sign up on the clipboard, we're offering you $100 and a free weekend in one of these local mountain resorts, okay? A free weekend with all your friends. You don't go by yourself, just go and hang out for the weekend. And $100. So make sure you sign the clipboard as it goes around. We are witnessing something in the United States of America that's really interesting. As we see, if you haven't heard, Minister Farrakhan has been excommunicated from Facebook. They're shutting him down. And it's right as we begin to launch our own media, which is the eLife Media Studio here in the corner. So for those of you who haven't tapped in, tuned in, y'all need to tune in and support. And by supporting, it's just a matter of listening, commenting, subscribing, liking, doing what you can to distribute and share this information with as many people as you can. We're getting good content, and we're putting it out there because we know that at some point good content is going to be shut down by bad people, right? So we have to make sure that we do our part to support the good content that is being produced by houses like this. We're also seeing that not only we've seen it happen with Dr. Umar Johnson, we've seen it happen with others, even those that are here locally in the D.C. metropolitan area. They'll shut you down. They'll shut you down. They didn't let us market a flyer that we were using to market some speakers over the course of the last month. They said, no, you can't market that flyer. And it was the blueprint for black empowerment was the title. And that was the issue. Yep. Oh, okay. So now we know where Facebook stands. And all. Not that we didn't know, but now they're not hiding anymore. I think one of the issues that I have with our community is many times we don't recognize that we're at war. Right. We think that this is peacetime. We think that everything is good, everything is safe. Everybody is good. I liken it to a predator and a prey. A lion in a field full of deer. Those deer are not going to feel safe. We are in the middle and in the presence of our predator. And he's demonstrated he's a predator at every opportunity that he's been given. And we still find ourselves wanting to move closer to him, live in his neighborhood, send our children to his schools, and go on and be a part of that life that he's decided what we should be a part of, what he's dictated as the American way. We need to remember, after 400 years of what it is that we've gone through in America, it hasn't stopped. And it's all been at the hands of somebody who looks the same as the guy that first did the first thing to us, right? We can't just go to sleep on it, I know someone said, well, some of my best friends, well, maybe there's a couple of them out there that is cool. But for the most part, we look at the institutions, we look at the people, and we realize that it's something that we have to accept. And that is that those folks don't like us. Maybe it's by nature. You know, they don't like us. They don't support us. And when given the opportunity, they will cut us off. And, you know, that's just their agenda. It's not making them out to be a bad person. That's just a bad person to us. They're doing good for their people. Right?
Yeah. Good teacher.
So don't be ashamed that, you know, somebody out there, you know, locking up all of our sons, putting the drugs in the neighborhood, putting the guns in the neighborhood, creating the strife, locking them up, police brutality, killing them, and you still, well, you know, there's a couple of them that are pretty good. No, a predator, when a predator is in your midst, when you see a lion running across a field and you see a bunch of deer out there grazing in the field, it ain't no, well, come on, guys, let's give them a chance.
Teach,
this one might not be like all the other ones.
Teach, doctor.
Come on, man. We need to be packing up and doing something, and I think that's the fear. I think the fear is that we don't quite know what it looks like to leave our predator. Like, how can we exist without our predator? You know, we need him. No, we don't. Let's see. I would say, before I introduce our brother, I would say that there's something that I would like to put on all of your minds, and that is the need to support the institutions that support you. Now, most people come before you and they say, you need to support all black businesses. No, I don't think you need to support all black businesses. I think you need to support the institutions that support you. Okay? So institutions that are providing you with events and activities like this, institutions that are providing you with healthy food, institutions that are hiring people that look just like you. Y'all notice? You know, when y'all over there, the folk look just like you, don't they? You know, so you see the impact that we're having on our community. You know what they say about how many times the dollar goes through our community? It don't. It doesn't even make it in the community because we already didn't spend it last month, you know, on now internet, you know, businesses. So we now have to support the institutions that are supporting us, that are making a difference in our lives. And I guarantee you, for those of you who don't know the reputation of everlasting life, there are thousands, if not tens and hundreds of thousands of people whose lives have been lengthened and the quality has been improved as a result of their encounter with us. All right? So those are the kind of institutions. You find some other institutions like that, we need to, one, bring attention to them. We do have a televised radio station here. I talked about eLife Media. This is our eLife Media Studio right here, where we broadcast intelligent content that's going to empower our community, uplift our community, and bring attention to people doing great things in our community. So this is all, you know, it's not just a one-time. This is a one-off. You know, Dr. Umar Johnson is a great brother. We've had many great brothers over the course of the year come through here. And years, and sisters come through here. In fact, you all should make sure that you sign up because we're bringing Queen Afua here in the month of June, okay? And there are a couple of other people that we're bringing. Their names don't. Patricia Newton is going to be here. We've got Brother Terry Miles from the video Forks Over Knives. We got Milton Mills, again, other people that are on our list that we want to bring to you because we know they have something where you could benefit. So now, we've all come here, and I'm thankful that you all were okay with not going to Prince George's County Community College. Y'all were able to shift and come over here to Everlasting Life. When I got the call, it was a no-brainer. It was a no-brainer. It didn't even matter. You know, a whole lot of conversation, you know, well, these are the circumstances, boom, 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 boom. That don't matter. What matters is I know you have something good to offer our people, and I know our people need it. That was all that it took. In my mind, that's all it took. Boom. I didn't care nothing about all the stuff that you may have heard or somebody else may have said. Or I knew that you had something good to offer our community, and I knew our community needed it. I know that you're in the process of building something that we all need to contribute to, be a part of, and also send our children through. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. Dr. Umar Johnson, the Prince of Pan-Africanism. You know, we watched this brother grow. We watched him develop. I remember speaking, it was in Detroit, maybe about 7 years ago, as Dr. Umar Johnson was not just hitting the circuit, but he was a lot younger than he is now. As far as the things that he talked about, the information, it was still on point. He was on fire then. But back then we were on the same podium, on the same dais together, and it was a blessing to hear a young brother talking like this brother's talking. Because you don't find that a lot. A lot of us are just willing to, just give me a job. I'll just take a job and I'll live out there next to, you know, Mr. Charlie. You know, I live out there in that neighborhood, and I feel like I've arrived. I think one of the challenges we have, and our brother will speak to it and always does, is our belief systems. You know, we were okay with admitting that, okay, they destroyed our educational system, they destroyed the political system, they destroyed the economic system, they destroyed every system that we interact with in our lives in the United States of America. But somehow or another, we've been convinced that they ain't got in there and destroyed the religious system. So we believe that somehow or another that was able to navigate, and we have people to stand in front of us and tell us that no, he ain't able to mess that up. That's still good. Well, if it was good, it'd be working for us. Wouldn't you agree?
Teach, doctor.
And I could say, looking from my vantage point, I don't see anything that looks like it's moving us forward like it needs to. And I would say the most that I can say is the need for us to just come together. If we just came together, the power of us just coming together, which is why those institutions have so much perceived power, because we seem to be coming together when we're really kind of in that space. I don't know what we're doing in there. You know, I don't know what's going on. We're all in this belief that the life after this life is better than this life. Is anybody believing that that's the case? Well, if that's the case, then we need to go on and take this life so we can go on to the next life, right? Wouldn't that make sense? Yeah, well, we need to stop living that way. We need to start getting ours now. We need to start building for our future, and we need to start helping our children. We need to start making children and stop believing that all you need is two and a white picket fence and a dog and you good. No, we got to build. You see what our Spanish-speaking brothers are doing? They're building. They got more and more and more and more power because they keep on repopulating. And we over here playing games. So, again, Dr. Umar Johnson is going to talk to us about that. He's going to talk to us about his institution, the New School, the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey RBG International Leadership Academy for Black Boys. You know, you find in the world, you find there are a whole lot of institutions that are working with women and children. But you don't find a lot of institutions working with boys, and specifically black boys. They ain't got nothing for us, right? We're cannon fodder. You have no value. You have no value, when really the reality is we are the biggest threat. Do not wake up the sleeping giant. Let him stay asleep. Let him destroy his communities. Let him destroy his families. 30 years ago when I was a child growing up in Southeast, everybody on my block had a mother and father in the house. Everybody. We didn't know anything about broken families back then. It was during the late 70s, early 80s, all of that broke apart. I don't know how it was done, but it was done, and it was effective. So we're going to need to begin to retrain our children so that they know how to be adults. So we know how to build. Because we ain't building if we ain't building with family. Because who's going to be the person that we hand it off to? If we're building all of this and we don't have anybody to hand it off to, then it's one generation. And it goes away. So we're very thankful for his work that he's done in bringing this institution into fruition. We look forward to sending our children. Where else would I send my child?
That's right.
I'd want my child to be educated there so that, he can be empowered to be a warrior.
That's right.
No. Well, I want him to go to the school over in Gaithersburg. They have a really high level of, college educated or college, people going off to college, whatever that expression is. If we continue to compare, it's the example I use of my restaurant. 24 years ago, this restaurant was in my garage. Now, me as a visionary, I saw it as you all would see a Whole Foods. That's how I saw this restaurant. Other people would say, man, you're crazy. How you see all of that? You're in your garage. What's that all about? But when you're working with a visionary like our brother, he already sees what it is that he's building as being an institution so much bigger than any other, plus so much better. Again, it's something that we have to support. He is a clinical psychologist. He's a certified school psychologist, and he's been on the front line for a while, and he's taken a lot of blows. He's taken a lot, and it's not easy to be on the front line. I'm on a front line, but he's on the front line. When his name gets mentioned, many times people already take a position. They're already either for or against.
Right.
There's a whole lot of strong energy. But you got to look at the brother's track record. He's doing a lot for our community, and what's coming out of his head and what's coming out of his mouth is going to make a lot of difference, positive difference in our community. You know, do we have it all fixed? You know, Rome wasn't built in a day. You have the expectation that somebody's going to have all of this fixed after we've been up under this suppression and oppression by this predator for 400 years. We're going to fix this in a conversation. No. It's going to take some more. Some of y'all in here need to raise up. Y'all need to take a part of this, okay? We need a new economist. We need some farmers. I need some farmers so I can stop buying my food from my predator, because at the end of the day, that's how it's working. Got to build this. We have to be the ones. Nobody stands to benefit more from it than us. So now I want to bring before you a brother, a teacher, an educator, friend of mine who is going to make a difference in your lives. A brother who's demonstrated that you can go up against the system, not cower. You can win and never cower, never back down, never soft pedal, never feel like well, I can't say. He says what he needs to say at the time that it needs to be said, no matter what the form. And you jump in his grill in the middle of a show on national television, where he's jumping back. Okay, well, that's how you going. This is how I'm coming back at you. And without further ado, I'd like to bring before you, again, a great friend of mine and a brother, and I expect you all, let me say this before you even get started, make sure everything off his table is gone. He don't need to carry that back to Philadelphia. That's our way of supporting him. Let's support him by making sure everything, y'all got gifts and family members and friends.
That's right.
Without further ado, let us all stand to our feet and recognize our brother who's put himself out there on the front line, somebody who demonstrated his commitment to his people. The prince of Pan-Africanism, Dr. Umar Johnson.
Maryland, make some noise, family. Maryland! Welcome, 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 welcome.